All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. It says we're live. I'm going to believe we are live, and we're ready to rock and roll with you guys, as I said, on a Tuesday's best kind of evening. We got it started on the website earlier today. Two best tight ends. Since we're talking about tight ends now at Texas Tech, tight ends are cool again. Punters and tight ends. It's 1991. I don't know. Who was the punter in 1991? Was that DeLagerheim or what year was Cade? When did Cade come in? Anyway, so a lot of stuff going on today. Coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios tonight. A couple of more days you want the air to be Arctic. Then you're going to want to call the bear, callthebear.com if the air is too Arctic. You know what to do there. Also brought to you by the Shropshire Agency and Hubaplex. Yes, sir. Independent, just like you West Texans. Give them all. Or get your insurance checked up. Least you could do for yourself, your business. Maybe you're in charge of your church insurance. They can do all of that at the Shropshire Agency and the Reserve. It's a culinary tavern. They've updated their fall cocktail menu. So check out the Reserve, a culinary tavern. They're 103rd and Quaker. Go to their web page or their just go to their Facebook page. Probably better to do that. You can see the cool new list. So yeah, that's who's bringing us to you tonight. You guys get in the early arrivals. You know what to do. You give us a little thumbs up. You give us hearts. You let us know the audio is good, the video is good. And indeed, Craig, the talking box is on. Hi there, Roy, Val, Glenn, Chris, John getting in. You guys joining us on Twitter and on YouTube Live. Use the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. 772-0197 to get on the text line. Only way we'll see your messages if you're watching and trying to communicate via Twitter and YouTube, and that's why we have it on the screen. Thank you, United Supermarkets. Joe's got his guns up. He's rolling. Tide. Ropes, big winners 38-6 last week over the Smyer Bobcats, who made the trip to the Ville. Let's get it happening now. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt. TheRaiderland.com is where you start your day. Monday morning hot links are always good. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, they're always waiting for you. You need to check it out. Got our question of the day and whatever else is on our mind. And there will be bonus content coming to you tonight. We'll make the announcement tonight, I believe. So check it out, TheRaiderland.com, as we come to you from the Arctic Air Studios. The rundown tonight, Texas Tech and Kansas State. You've got the Red Raiders taking on a wounded Wildcat, which is always dangerous, right? Maybe we can all drink to that. Hold on, product placement. There we go. What's more dangerous than a wounded Wildcat? Angry dogs barking in the background. Kansas State is beat up. You may be catching them at just the right time. Also today, since we have been talking about the impact of the tight end utilization by Zach Killian, I have loved some of the route schemes that they have come up with. That little wheel route play, as the TV announcer called it, even though it's not really a wheel route, but we're going to call it a wheel route. Coming out of the backfield on the left side, not the backfield, coming around on the left side of the formation the other night, wide open. They have schemed it up really good. Two favorite tight ends, two greatest tight ends all time. The tight end position has undergone maybe as much, if not more, change than any position in football over the last 50 years. The first two great modern tight ends are John Mackey at Baltimore and Mike Ditka, Del Bears. We were talking about tough guys last week. The passing of Dick Butkus. Mike Ditka was just as tough. He would be obviously a Dallas Cowboy at one point, Dallas Cowboy assistant coach, and then head coach of the Bears. Oh, y'all settle down. You're wearing me out. You'll get nothing and you'll like it. Andre Tillman, fantastic All-American tight end. And if you go look at his receiving numbers, you're like, did they know they had an NFL tight end? Yeah, they did. It was just an era where you just didn't end up targeting the tight end a whole lot. And that was even with a pretty open offense there with Jim Carlin in the early 70s. But you would call Tillman the first maybe modern tight end at Texas Tech, or biggest impact tight end. Although there might be some who would want to go, I just blanked out his name in 60, 67, 68. Somebody have to help me out. So favorite tight ends, best tight ends, greatest tight ends. Let's celebrate the tight end today. Jared, Rangers finish on Baltimore tonight. Do they? Do they really? The Astros winning easily today over the Twinkies. Red Raider Josh Young will lead the Rangers to their first World Series victory. It is ordained. Is it not? What have we talked about this year? The impact of Red Raiders in pro sports? Mahomes, Mac McClung at the NBA All-Star game winning the dunk competition, Ludwig Aberg winning the Ryder Cup. I mean, all we need is a Red Raider in the NHL. We could complete the quadfecta. We got to get somebody in there right now. Does anyone know anybody who can skate? 806-772-0197. Dogs want me to come attend to them. I ain't going to do it. Not going to do it. Roy says Baylor getting roasted by some dude named Baylor. Yes. 2 Baylors, 1 cup. Weston hanging out with us. Hi there, Celia. Jay Novacek and Shannon Sharp on the tight ends question today. Dave Parks was not a tight end. He was an end. I mean, he was a true end receiver. As his career went on, Niners into the Saints, really kind of morphed into a quasi, almost a modern day tight end H-back type guy. Sterling Sharp, Gonzalez, former basketball player turned football player there with the Chiefs. What's up? What up to you, Weston? What up? James is watching. We're watching you too, James. I would not eat that if I were you. I don't have any teeth and I know how to fight. Do I qualify for hockey? If you can skate, you can do it. No! You can hear them. You know. Man, Kellen Winslow was great. Do I let him out? Do I let him out or not? What do you think? Ah, hell with it. I'm done with him. I'll be right back. Entertain yourselves. Oh, yeah, I'm fed up with y'all. I'm done. Come on. Don't come back. That was ridiculous. Never going to do that again. Should have known better. Start the broadcast with the dogs in the house. They've been great. Been snoozing. Start the show like little kids. Got to have attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a pause in programming. Pet exit. Hey, Mickey. Good to see you out there. Jared, Texas Tech hockey is highly ranked in the national. Yeah, they practice up there at Amarillo. No sheet of ice in Lubbock. They are the ultimate road warriors. So as we were saying, great tight ends. We'll talk about Texas Tech and Kansas State as we go through. I have not looked, if only there were a device that would allow me to check on the latest odds and everything on that. I think it's still Texas Tech favored by 1, but we'll see if that has changed dramatically at all today. I've not looked at it this afternoon. Scrolling down, 6 o'clock game. Come on. Where'd you go? Chris and John. Where are we? You ought to be right there. I usually have it flagged, and for some reason I don't have it flagged. It's like trying to find a golfer on a leaderboard sometimes, you know? Take -1.5. I've got Navy Charlotte. You should be right in through there. Where are you? This is not hard. Wonder why. There it is. Ooh, we have our first 2 popping up at I believe that is Circa. It is 1.5 consensus, 1 laggard 1. So slowly moving towards Texas Tech. My point, and I do have one. Chris, first time a cat has ever listened to you and you put out the dogs. Trust me, if you didn't want that, you didn't want that going on. Please show the Dwayne Slay highlights on a loop in the K-State Hotel. That would be brutal. They're against Allen Everidge in 2005. I believe he lived. So yeah, I think this line will continue to move a little bit more towards Texas Tech. Chris Kleiman compared to, say, Bill Snyder, fairly open in injuries, and they've lost 2 linebackers of the season, starter and backup. They lost another cornerback this weekend in Will Lee. He is out, completely out of the picture. And then Jacob Parrish, another cornerback is hurt. The secondary and the linebackers are brittle pretty good. They gave up 29 to an incredibly pedestrian Oklahoma State team. If not now, win. Texas Tech, I think, should have as much success, if not more, offensively than they did against Baylor against Kansas State. Kansas State is beat up. They're down. You've got to catch them while they're down. You get them at home. They don't get to go home. This is a great spot, I think, for Texas Tech. I think the actual true value number on this should be closer to 2.5 to 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes off, if it ticks up another point as the week goes along. The betting limits will rise. You'll see maybe some more people move in. Syndicates will move some money in. I think I can see Texas Tech coming a good, strong buy as the week goes on. They remain committed to Will Howard at quarterback, even though he has not been good by any stretch. 61% completions, which is not good for him. But they reiterated that he's their guy. Good. Keep him in there for now. Hopefully he doesn't find it. Jared points out Oklahoma State won that game. Alan Bowman keeping both lungs inflated. Want him to have success this year. Always want him to have success. He was a tough guy. Good Lord. There's no question about Bowman's toughness. Not at all. Ugh. Let's see, Jared, that was the first Tech game I ever watched in 05. Ride or die every since. An interesting game to catch for your first one. A gray day out there at Jones Stadium. Overcast day. What was that? That would have been in October. Believe that's right. Is that? Yeah, it would have been in October, I think. Okay, here's why I kind of remember that. I was not in attendance at that game that day. If I'm remembering the time frame right, if I've got the right game, and I think I do, because that was the weekend I found out I was going to have a baby. Well, not me. My wife was going to have a baby. I mean, I helped. But that was the weekend that we found out. I was like, man, I think I'm going to stay at the house today, you know? Damn, I'm old if it's a first game watch was 2005. Yes, you are. We played that game before on this show. You know, how far back do we go your first game in attendance? And there's some on here probably right now that can beat me. I have no doubt that there are some that can beat my first game. First game you can remember watching. First game in attendance is different from first game you can truly remember watching. So we got Texas Tech and Kansas State. How you guys are feeling about that? I don't care if I'm overconfident. I ain't the team. Doesn't really matter. I just feel very comfortable with what we saw last week being able to translate this week. And in fact, minus the first half of the Houston game defensively, what you've seen defense for the last 6 quarters, for sure, a Big 12 play. And really, they didn't play that bad at West Virginia. They just, and this is bad, just could not get off the field timely third downs that allowed some really long drives to take place. But for the most part, I'm still very comfortable with what Tim DeRuyter is doing with his defense and how they perform to give you an opportunity to win. And I think you can go hang up another 35-39, and I think you ought to be able to beat this Kansas State team right now. God help you. Don't let them get it together. I have a lot of respect for Kansas State. I asked this question on our Facebook page earlier today about how you would rank teams in the Big 12 that you respect, programs you respect, what they do, how they do it, what they're able to do. And since the inception of the Big 12, I've had a lot of respect for Kansas State. I've been to Manhattan numerous times, and Manhattan is everything they say Lubbock is. It really is isolated. You really can't get there from here. And that turnaround that Bill Snyder, was the architect of, that has been able to continue. A lot of respect for that team. And they look really good in purple and silver with those Dallas Cowboy uniforms that Snyder put them in and that Kirby Hocutt made famous. Jared, cold front coming in on Friday. Great weather for October night game. It'll be cool and crisp. Good hard-hitting weather. Temps in the 60s, maybe 50s by the time the game is over. Chris says best first memory beating UT in Austin, cold as hell. Blackshear, 1989, Texas Tech won there. You may, though, be thinking of the 93 game with Marcus Coleman, interception return for a touchdown, because in my mind, that was really a colder day. The game in 89, I think, was actually kind of warmish. Chris, you may be in 1993 on that one. No Big 12 team has dominated K-State or Tech like K-State. Sick of K-State. Beat them. Got to beat them. The Arkansas Tech game, November 19, 1966, first game. The upset of the decade in the Big 12. When the game started, there were 12,000 interesting spectators as Jack Dale spread word around West Texas. They came flooding in like the sea, with over 79,000 in attendance at Jones Stadium, or so they say, when that game finally ended. Yeah, maybe so. On Tuesdays, because we have determined it is the most underrated day of the week, you can tell us things that are underrated. So we ask you today, as we go through this broadcast, we weave in and out of many topics. We have the ability to do that. Things that are underrated on a Tuesday. Best tight ends. And now we open it up. Let's talk tacos. It is Tuesday. The crispy taco, I think, has been maligned lately. I think all the hipsters, all the street food people, all the food trucks, it's all soft taco this, soft taco that. Tacos al carbon. It is this, it is that. While the crispy taco just sits there going, I was your first friend. I'm a great friend. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. I'm crispy. I'm crunchy. I hold everything together. Huge amount of gloppy hamburger meat, lettuce, tomatoes, shredded cheese. I don't trust any Mexican food place that can't do a good crispy taco. So we can do the best crispy tacos. And if you're ever at a place, the option has, blank, blank, and blank, and one of them's crispy taco, get crispy taco. Because then you can use some of the shell and everything else, move some stuff around. It's good. Chris is a crispy taco guy. Cold meatloaf sandwich. Had it for lunch today. Probably top 3 sandwich. Ooh, meatloaf in general is underrated. Gets a bad rap. You guys can join us on the United Supermarkets text line 806-772-0197. If you're planning on tailgating this weekend, don't wait till Saturday morning. Get out there this week. Be a Thursday shopper. Get it laid in. Get it ready to go. Put everything in the refrigerator there in the garage that you utilize for special occasions. The foodie trucks don't like the taco shell breakage problem. Has you heard about breakage? Jared, I really want a Dwayne Slay bronze statue somewhere near the stadium. Saw the hit, can still feel it to this day. Wore out Taco Bell on slide. But what about today? Best crispy tacos today. Ketchup does not belong on meatloaf. Ketchup can come to my meatloaf party anytime it wants to. Spicy ketchup, sriracha ketchup, any ketchup. Hi there. Hi there, ketchup. Hi there, meatloaf. Get together, roll around with each other. Get comfortable. Cracker Barrel has great meatloaf. My son will go to Cracker Barrel just to get the meatloaf. A high school senior. He will go there just to get meatloaf. David is watching, so we now know that the 6 o'clock news is over on KMAC 28. Greetings. How'd it go tonight? Pretty good? Any problems on set? Everybody getting along good? Was the happy chat and the witty byplay everything everybody wanted it to be? Gaddis Buffet underrated. Not familiar. Oh, Gaddy's. I thought, okay, I got it. Gaddy's Buffet, yeah. Puffy tacos when traveling in Wyoming. Not too bad. Like Navajo fried bread type stuff? Yeah, that's pretty good. But crispy taco is the best. Taco Casa right now, fast food does the best crispy taco. It's not even close. Their big super taco or whatever they call it. One of those is darn near a meal. And the thing that they do so well, they look at you and they go, you look like the kind of guy who needs a lot of shredded cheese. They don't have to ask. And there you go. Navajo fry bread tacos on the reservation. Always good stuff. So crispy tacos, I think are underrated now because everybody is into this whole. I gotta get the soft tacos thing. Yeah, there's this food truck. They do the best soft tacos. Come on now. Heinz 57 on meatloaf, 57 on about anything. Absolutely. Heinz 57, 5-tool condiment. Great on fries. Great, like I said, on just about anything. Superior on fries. If I can't put it on fries, tater tots, I feel bad. Got a super burrito 2 nights ago. A meal and more. So all you needed, though, was the taco to add on. We can get your favorite tight ends of all time, college or otherwise, since Texas Tech, I think, I'll say it one more time. I love watching what Kittley is doing with the tight ends. That all year last year, it seemed like, yeah, we got these guys, but we don't know what to do, and we want to throw the ball. We're going to do this. And I mean, last year, really, almost year zero from the standpoint of, I don't, none of what we saw was anything I think what McGuire wanted to do, really, and what his offensive philosophy, what he wants it to be. And even Kittley, I think it was just such a grab bag. And earlier this year, it was kind of grab baggish. And now I think it's beginning to come into focus. As I said on Saturday, that was complimentary football. That if Joey McGuire could have walked into Kirby Hocutt and showed him what a game would look like under him with complimentary football, that was it down there in Waco. Baylor Cup is underrated. Brock Bowers, animals that roam around Georgia. How about this Brock Bowers animal that roams around Georgia? Yeah. Kittley been watching the Chiefs and taking notes. I would figure out ways to steal absolutely from the Kansas City Chiefs. Very creative offense. But yeah, I think one of the things when you have, and they do have some weapons, obviously. I think from a play calling standpoint, every time I call a play for somebody, I didn't call it for somebody else. Every time I do this, I didn't. And you've got to be committed to a philosophy. And I think now they are. I think they're committed to the run game. Yeah. I think they're now committed to the run game. I think that opens up then. I don't want to say that the tight end is the first choice, but if they can't match up with the tight end, it's the first choice. And then a play action and the run game allows you to pop it downfield. And that's a good thing, and that's complimentary football. Corn tortillas, street tacos, steak, onions, lime are really good. Chanting overrated when beating better team is underrated. It's actually quite stupid, as we've explained on here before. My favorite is Jason Witten, and you have his autograph. Witten the greatest cowboy to never win a Super Bowl? Of the great cowboys to never win a ring, where would he rank on that list? Greatest cowboy without a ring? Don Meredith? Where would it rank? Where would he rank? Dogs are about to go crazy again. I think my wife just got home. Morton didn't throw a ball past 2 weeks and dropping dimes in games. It's impressive. Yeah, he was no throws and hardly any workout 2 weeks going into Houston last week. He took about 50% of the first string snaps. And depending on who you ask, threw lightly, didn't throw much. Yeah, Cowboys no ring since 95. So everybody who's played since then. But in that era, in the two eras, in the 60s when you don't win one, and then the stretch, I guess, from 78 to 93. Let's see. Greatest cowboy during that era to not win a Super Bowl. Was Jim Jeffcoat on a Super Bowl winning team? Was he on one? He might be in there. Jimmy Johnson has a ring, but it's not in the Ring of Honor at Jerry World. Nope. Not as long as Jerry Jones is alive, apparently. And that idiot's talking about putting Ezekiel Elliott in there. Really? No. Absolutely not. overrated. If we talk about what's overrated, Ezekiel Elliott, overrated. What's underrated on Tuesday? Are they underrated at number 6 in the country? Texas Tech soccer. Red Raiders soccer moving up to number 6. I believe that either ties or is their best ranking nationally all time. This Tom Stone squad just quietly winning matches, doing their thing, sitting number 6. It got me thinking, what okay, Tech baseball has been ranked number 1 at one time. Lady Raiders ranked number 1, obviously. Football highest ranking was 5, I want to say. 5 on the highest national ranking. Men's basketball, I can't remember what they're right offhand, what the highest ranking on men's basketball ended up being. Regular season poll. Obviously, you could say second, but the regular season poll. I was just thinking out loud on some of that. What the different highest rankings in all sports that, at a given time now, every major sport obviously has been ranked within the top 10. I don't think, did they get to 2 in one of the polls on that one? Yeah, going to OU. Yeah. I don't think volleyball has ever been in the top 10. Pretty much everything else I think has. I think both tennis teams, I want to say, and what the old AV something ATP rankings or something have been up there. Track, obviously. That's pretty much all you do these days. Yeah. Well, you win another game after that. You beat Oklahoma State. I think it's probably a combination. I think Baylor is not a great football team. Houston obviously is struggling. So you are making those teams look like they're not very good teams while you're finding some things on your side of the ball. It's almost always a combination of things. Meet Judging number 1 since the mid-90s, Drew DeBerry. I think this year's Lady Raiders are underrated, picked 10th. Yeah, I saw that. I was surprised. Now, I know they're replacing some parts and pieces, but with Maupin alone, a little bit surprised. That's fine. Krista Gerlich, she'll wear that. She'll take that and utilize it. Let me put it this way: if they do finish 10th, I'll be very, very shocked. Very shocked. Very, 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 very shocked. I don't know if I can find any offshore betting operations or something like that. But, well, anyways, things that are underrated. Tech K-State taking on the Wounded Cats. I think this is a game that you're catching them right when you want them. And that means that I think Texas Tech, I'll be picking Texas Tech, and I think the line needs to be closer to 2.5 or 3. I think on favorite tight ends of all time, man, we could go on and on and on. I was blessed to live in a time when there were great, tremendous tight ends on every single team. Who was the Dallas Cowboy tight end who must have been the sickest man in America? Anybody remember? Y'all remember? The only man other than Darren Talbert to make Roger Staubach cuss. Jay Novacek was a good tight end. Block a little bit, do a few things. Versus K-State, we should use play action. I think you can now because you're running it so effectively. Whether you want to utilize RPO style play action, true play action, which you can run out of this offense, I think you will continue to see more of that. Even if you don't use play action, it still allows you to take some shots deep, because I think you're going to have to go to, instead of 2 highs, 1 high. You've got to build a little bigger box right now against Texas Tech, or they're just going to beat you up with a run game. And if you're a quarterback and you see single high safety, then you pretty much know, particularly if you've got any sort of motion prehand, that you're going to know what the coverage is going to be. Go pick it apart. Cowboy tight end for the Cardinals, Hall of Famer Jackie Smith drops the ball in the end zone against the Steelers. Roger Staubach unleashing a torrent of profanity, dagnabbit. Vern Lundquist on the call. Oh, my God. Jackie Smith must be the sickest man in America right now. You must always run. And if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot walk, crawl. but you must always run. All right, we've enjoyed it. Check back on the website. You guys can do stuff for us. You can share this, put it on your social media, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. Share it on YouTube, wherever that may be. And then go to the website in the morning, theraiderland.com. Bandwagon Wednesday coming up for you tomorrow. We got to say goodbye to the people on YouTube and on Twitter first. In the stream. Yeah, we're going to end the stream. Okay.